Liverpool transfer news. Live. Tottenham team news. Arsenal injury blow in title race. Stay tuned for all the latest transfer updates regarding the Reds before attention shifts to the Carabao Cup semi-final. Liverpool trails 1-0 from the first leg, but is still the favorite to reach Wembley. Should Liverpool defeat Tottenham Hotspur on Thursday, they will discover their opponent in the Carabao Cup final next month. Newcastle United secured their spot at Wembley with a dominant 2-0 victory, 4-0 on aggregate, over Arsenal on Wednesday in front of a raucous St. James's Park crowd. To make matters worse for Arsenal, Gabriel Martinelli suffered an injury, which could have implications for the title race. Thursday night will be focused on Anfield as Liverpool faces Spurs in the crucial second leg of the semi-final. We'll be building up to this massive clash throughout the day. Tottenham defender Mickey van de Ven believes his career could have taken a different path, potentially landing him at Liverpool, had Arne Slot managed to sign him earlier. Van de Ven shared that Slot's attempts to bring him to AZ Alkmaar and Feyenoord fell through, leading the Dutch centre-back on a different route to the Premier League. Jamie Carragher has highlighted 3 positions he believes Liverpool should strengthen by the end of the season, including a new left-back, attacking midfielder, and striker, all seen as priorities by the former Reds defender. Liverpool has been relatively quiet in the transfer market over the last 2 windows, with Federico Chiesa being the only outfield signing since Arne Slot took over as head coach. Given the team's strong form and healthy squad, major movement in the January window was never likely, but there could be more activity come the summer. The Reds are reportedly looking at potential left-back targets, with Bournemouth's Milos Kerkez being strongly linked in recent months. If the club decides to offload Darwin Núñez, a new striker could also be on the horizon. Carragher told Sky Sports that he wished Liverpool had brought in another defender during January, but expects more deals in the summer. Tottenham's new signings, Kevin Danso and Mathys Tel, are available to play against Liverpool tonight, but manager Ange Postecoglou remains without several key players. Mickey van de Ven, Christian Romero, Dominic Solanke, Wilson Odobert, James Maddison, Destiny Udogie, Timo Werner, Brennan Johnson, Radu Dragusin, and Guglielmo Vicario are all likely to miss out. The only Liverpool player absent tonight is Trent Alexander-Arnold, sidelined with an injury after coming off against Bournemouth on Saturday. However, Arne Slot confirmed the issue isn't serious, and Alexander-Arnold is already back training. Arsenal also received a blow in their title race, as Gabriel Martinelli is set to undergo an MRI scan after limping off during the Gunners' Carabao Cup defeat to Newcastle, potentially suffering a hamstring injury. Mikel Arteta's side endured a disappointing night, failing to mount a comeback and losing 4-0 on aggregate. Welcome to today's Liverpool blog, where we prepare for an important match at Anfield as the Reds aim for a Carabao Cup final spot. The winner will face Newcastle at Wembley after the Magpies' commanding 4-0 aggregate victory over Arsenal, as they look to secure their first domestic trophy since 1955. Aston Villa has been one of the busiest clubs in the winter transfer window, clinching the signing of Marcus Rashford and strengthening their squad further. With Rashford, Marco Asensio, Daniel Malin, Axel Disasi, and Andres Garcia all joining, Unai Emery now faces the challenge of fitting these new players into his team. But how many of these arrivals would feature in the strongest Villa lineup? Thanks to insights from dedicated Villa fan Daniel Jones, here's how we envision Villa's best-case lineup. GK, Emiliano Martinez. Undoubtedly Villa's number 1, Martinez recently won FIFA's Best Men's Goalkeeper Award for 2024. With a contract running until 2029, Villa is in safe hands. RB, Matty Cash. Despite the arrival of Garcia, Cash is expected to remain Villa's starting right back, although Garcia could make an early impact while Cash is sidelined with injury. Sipo, Ezri Konsa. Konsa is firmly entrenched in the starting lineup and, with a contract until 2028, Villa will continue building around him. Disasi, signed on loan from Chelsea, will need to earn his place, but he could partner Konsa, especially in the short term. Lucas Digne. Digne, favored over Ian Maatsen for now, is still a key figure at left back and will likely remain the starter, especially with 18 months remaining on his contract. CM, Boubacar Kamara. After recovering from injury, Kamara has cemented his place in central midfield as a go-to defensive option for Emery. CM, Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans has been a consistent presence in midfield, playing either as a holding or attacking mid. A remarkable clause in Harry Kane's contract with Bayern Munich allows the striker to return to England for a significantly reduced transfer fee, potentially impacting Arsenal's striker plans, according to a report. Since making the move from Tottenham to Bayern Munich, Harry Kane has been exactly as expected. The 31-year-old has been prolific, scoring 70 goals in 72 appearances and providing 22 assists for his teammates. However, a surprising new update from Bild reveals a clause in Kane's contract that enables him to leave Bayern and return to England. There has long been speculation that Kane might eventually come back to the Premier League, particularly with Alan Shearer's all-time record of 260 goals in his sights. Kane currently sits second on that list with 213 goals and could potentially break Shearer's record within 2 seasons in the Premier League. According to Bild, Kane's desire to surpass Shearer is one of the reasons he and his representatives included this crucial clause in his Bayern deal. The clause allows Kane to trigger a move in the January transfer windows of 2025 and 2026, with the transfer taking place in the subsequent summer. Since Kane didn't activate the clause during the 2025 winter window, a move won't happen next summer. However, the clause remains in play for next year, meaning Kane could be free to leave Bayern in the summer of 2026 for a fee of 65 hours, 54 miles. This would be a significant sum for a 32-year-old player, but Kane's ability to consistently perform, despite being over 30, and his game not relying heavily on pace, makes him an appealing option. Bild didn't specify whether Kane could return to Tottenham or if another Premier League club might make a move for him. One club whose transfer strategy could be impacted is Arsenal. Once again, the Gunners failed to sign a major new striker in January. Despite this, they may still challenge for their first Premier League title since 2004, depending on how the remainder of the season unfolds. What is clear is that Arsenal did attempt to sign a striker in January, placing a $60 million offer for Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano discussed Arsenal's efforts, saying on his YouTube channel, Arsenal considered several options, including dream targets like Benjamin Sesko and near impossible ones like Alexander Isak, who were never leaving their clubs in January. Arsenal realized it would be difficult to pull these deals off immediately, so both Isak and Sesko remain options for the summer. On Watkins specifically, Romano added, Arsenal's bid for Watkins came a few days ago, but Aston Villa were upset that the offer arrived before their Champions League match against Celtic. Additionally, the $60 million offer, including add-ons, wasn't enough to convince Villa. Unai Emery wanted Watkins to stay, and the departure of John Duran to Al Nassr also affected Villa's position, as they no longer needed the money. As mentioned, Benjamin Sesko is one of Arsenal's confirmed summer targets. However, according to Bild's report on Kane, Bayern Munich is reportedly considering Sesko as a potential replacement if Kane leaves. Bild stated, names like Benjamin Sesko, 21 RB Leipzig, or Victor Gyökeres, 26 or Sporting, have been discussed internally. Both would come at a high cost, around $70 million, but their wages would be much lower than Kane's, who earns an estimated $25 million a year. However, Kane cannot activate his exit clause in the upcoming summer, as he did not trigger it in January. This puts the pressure on Arsenal to secure a deal for Sesko before Bayern Munich potentially makes a move for him, possibly before Kane's potential return to England in 2026. In other transfer news, Chelsea's Joao Felix joined AC Milan on loan on deadline day, and there's a strong chance he's played his last game for Chelsea, Team Talk understands. It had always been likely that one of Felix or Christopher Nkunku would leave Chelsea, and it was ultimately Felix who made the move. Nkunku had been linked with Manchester United and Bayern Munich throughout January, but Chelsea was only considering selling him if the right price was met. An additional complication was that Nkunku didn't want to leave on loan. Ultimately, Manchester United and Bayern Munich were unwilling to meet Nkunku's 16-plus price tag, and so Felix moved to Milan on a straight loan deal. Several clubs, including Aston Villa, were interested in Felix, with Unai Emery being a known admirer of the 25-year-old. However, Villa opted for loans for Marco Asensio and Marcus Rashford instead. Villa's preference would have been to sign Felix permanently, but Chelsea had paid around 45 million for him last summer, meaning a sale could have resulted in a financial loss. A loan move to Milan gives Felix the chance to gain playing time and increase his value. He is under contract at Chelsea until 2031, so a cut-price sale this summer seems unlikely. Milan has paid a €5 million loan fee and will cover all of that